Ho ho ho, have I got a build for you. Behold, the Blood Mage. Oh yes, my friends. I know I said I was going to do little milestone builds and show you my progress throughout the game, but I just got carried away with the Blood Mage and she leveled so damn fast. I thought, what the hell, let's just do level 50 and we'll knock out this video. So here you go. So my motivation for creating this build was really just me wanting to play around with the Blood Magic Keystone passive. And I was expecting it to be a difficult build to play, and I was expecting my survivability to go to pot, because I'm effectively using my life to power my skills. But the opposite is true. Because I stacked so much, or so many life passives, my life shot through the roof. And as a result, the amount of life that I spend on my skills is so minuscule in comparison to my total pool that it may as well not even be there. In effect, especially if you've got high regen, you're kind of getting your skills for free, which is spectacular. None of the other characters I've played have been this survivable. I'm completely blown away. Plus, there's the added benefit of the whole life mana thing kind of being streamlined as a result of using blood magic. Because you no longer use mana, you don't have to worry about it. All you have to worry about is your life. Because your life serves all the functions. You know, it keeps you alive. It's your buffer between being alive and being dead. So of course you want to keep that up. But it also powers your spells. So you kind of have to make sure that you have enough life to power your spells, because you have to make sure you have enough life to stay alive. If that makes any sense at all. But long story short, it kind of streamlines it, and it makes it quite an easy and non-stressful build to play. It's very straightforward. Anywho, let's jump into skills. Unfortunately, Path of Exile doesn't have any blood type of spells, maybe with the exception of a reskin in the microtransaction store of, I think it's Glacial Cascade. But aside from that, we got nothing that really suits the theme. So I immediately thought fire. Fire is probably the best way to go, not just because it's more or less similar to the color of blood, but fire to me is a very destructive force, and the concept of a blood mage is, well, a blood mage is self-destructive by nature. So I thought, just self-destructive needs a very destructive type of element, I guess. That was my reasoning. Whatever, but you could, I suppose you could go for any element or any type of spell and you could justify it, because a blood mage isn't specific to any type of element. Anyway, enough of that rambling. I've gone with fire. First up, we've got Flame Blast. This is a game changer. I started off with Fireball and Firestorm, and it was alright, but then, man, once I got Flame Blast, oh, mother of God. It is beautiful. It's a channel spell, which I reckon really suits the whole Blood Mage aesthetic, because not only do you have the whole risk-reward thing of you having to stand there and channel a spell, but to me, blood magic is a very ritualistic thing. It's not something where you just necessarily, oh, I've cut myself and I'm going to shoot my blood at you or something weird. You know, there's rituals involved. It's not as simple as flinging a fireball at someone. So to me, Flame Blast fits perfectly with that. And then the whole risk-reward idea, with Flame Blast, you've kind of got to sit in the middle of all the enemies. You're tanking and waiting for this Flame Blast to build up to an acceptable level, and then you let it pop and everyone explodes. Everyone explodes. It is glorious. In terms of support skills, I've got Leech Life added to that, which is a big help. I would go so far as to say that it's a must. You must have Leech Life on this, otherwise it's going to be a lot harder, I reckon. You could spam the flasks, the health flasks, which I'm doing anyway, but putting leech life on Flame Blast just gives you that couple extra seconds to sit in the middle of those enemies, because you know if you're like 2 hits away from dying, you let go of Flame Blast and half of your health will be restored. So that's really awesome. The only other support skill I've got attached to that at the moment is Increased Critical Strike. I'm not too sure about it yet. Maybe once I level it up to the max, it'll start to be obviously beneficial, but we'll see about that. The next skill we're rocking here is Molten Shell. Now this kind of ends up being very much an offensive skill, seeing as you're in the middle of the pack of enemies anyway, and you're tanking with your ridiculously huge life. What you want to do is pop Molten Shell first up, and then while you're channeling your Flame Blast, more than likely Molten Shell is going to explode. And then once you've got your Flame Blast channeled up to an acceptable level, then you activate Molten Shell again. Now activating another skill will detonate Flame Blast instantly without you having to wait the second or so for it to do it on its own. So you can do this back and forth. Molten Shell, channel Flame Blast, Molten Shell, channel Flame Blast, and it just destroys everything. You're committing war crimes with fire and blood. It's beyond words. So Molten Shell becomes both a defensive skill and an offensive skill. It is also connected to the very same leech life and Increased Critical Strike that Flame Blast is connected to. So both explosions will give you some life back. That being said, I find that you get a lot more life back from Flame Blast, so you shouldn't really rely on the life gain, the life leech attached to Molten Shell. I've just put it there for just that little bit extra, you know, every little bit helps. Now you might think I'm crazy here, but that, my friends, is it. I'm only rocking the 2 skills. 2 is all you need. It's beautiful. So I'll just give you some stats here. At level 50, my life is just too shy of 1700. I'm on 1698. My energy shield is 149, but I find the energy shield is mostly pointless. But I'm assuming that for this level, in fact, I'm pretty sure that at level 50, 149 energy shield is piss poor. But of course, I haven't invested into it. It's just, you know, by the by from my equipment. I have 155 intelligence, 235 strength, and 41 dexterity. Alright, my friends, let's look at some skills. As you can see, we've got the Scion here. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but correct me if I am wrong. I just went with the Scion because I ended up with exactly what I wanted. You know, the path to Blood Magic gave me a little bit of fire, some more life along the way. There was some reduced mana cost on skills, that sort of thing. I'm sure you could adapt this fairly easily to a Marauder, a Templar, or hell, maybe even a Duelist. Who knows? So yes, I have gone with a Scion. The way I built this is I made a beeline for Blood Magic. So I went straight down here, got this resistance. Actually, what I did first was I got these projectile nodes because I was using Fireball at the time. So those projectile nodes helped me. And then I refunded them and went for the resistances instead. We came down here, got all this strength, and made... sorry, the split in my screen here is a little weird. Came down here, and I stopped there. Just one shy of Blood Magic. So at level 20 is when I took Blood Magic. So all the way there, and then I started getting the extra life nodes and whatnot, and even this reduced mana cost, which ended up being not that important. Like I said, my regen is high enough, and I have so much life that I don't really worry about losing life from draining it with Flame Blast or anything like that. So it's not really a problem. But you know, I'll get it anyway because it's just feels right. It seems like something I should do. So yeah, because I was initially intending to show it at level 20, I figured, yeah, right, I'll set it up, I'll get ready for blood magic, and then that final passive point, I'll spend it on blood magic, and I'll do my video. But then my leveling went through the roof, so I'm like, fuck it, let's go the whole hog. And then of course I focused on getting all this life here, and this really shot my life through the roof. Then I went for casting speed and spell damage as well. And then lastly, I probably should have gotten this as one of the first things because it's not a lot of regen, but every little bit helps. Lastly, I went for this regen here and the increased strength and intelligence, because we are, of course, a strength intelligence build. And there we go. This at level 50 is pretty much done. It is almost everything I planned to do. So anything more than what I got here is gravy, really. So I'm not even sure what else I'd do. Maybe I'd just go looking for more life or find some more spell damage nodes, but I think they're pretty far away. Possibly even go for faster casting, you know, everywhere I can find it nearby, or even this area of effect radius. That's going to help with our flame blast. I'm not really needing it, but you know, just throw in a little bit there because I'm rocking it right now. And there you go, that's the build. Ho ho ho, it's pretty righteous. So that's all from me for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time on Path of Exile Roleplay Builds.